Hello friends and welcome. I'm Sarah Liz and I am back with another emergency card video. If you're new to my channel, an emergency card is one where we make the cards ahead of time, but we leave the sentiment off. That way, when we need a card, we can choose the design that best fits the recipient and the sentiment that best fits the occasion. To help you with this, on the 1st and 15th of every month, I come out with a free printable full of sentiments that you can add to your cards along with a card sketch. All right, friends, let's look at the kit. This started as a pet kit, and certainly it can do some of that work, but I wanted to broaden it to just critters in general, so you can pair it with your stamps or you can pair it with your die cuts, which is what I'll do, and just make this kit stretch a little farther since I don't actually have pets anymore, and most of my friends don't either. So on the top, we have pet sympathy. The heart remembers most what it has loved the best. I have no words, just hugs. The littlest feet leave the biggest marks on our hearts. No matter how long we have them, it's never long enough. Then we have some sort of general pet critter sentiments. Hey, potty animal. Love is a four-legged word. And then, how old are you in dog years? Yappy birthday. Wishing you a cat-tastic birthday. 7 out of 7 cats don't care that it's your birthday. I'm so happy to have a friend like you. Somebody loves you. And this can kind of lean a little bit into Easter, which I thought was really useful. Have a crazy flapping bird day. A little birdie told me it's your birthday. You deserve a round of applause, and let's stay up late and eat trash. I love raccoon die cuts and raccoon stamps. I think they're so cute, and we call them trash pandas in my house. So this is your raccoon trash panda sentiment, and there's gonna be another one. You can get this with and without the circle, and then I did make this again in our rectangular sentiments. Now there are 18 of these where there's only 16 circle sentiments, so there's 2 additional sentiments. You're still a spring chicken to me. Trash Panda says, you're my kind of treasure. I don't know why it's so funny to me, but it just is. If you have favorite sentiments that you would like to see in the favorites kit, that's the goal for the middle of February. I want to know, what kind of sentiments do you use the most? What do you want to see in that kit? If there are specific sentiments that have come out at any point in time before, let me know. And if you can tell me what kit or which sentiment, that's really helpful. If they didn't have a strip sentiment or a rectangular sentiment before, I will add that in the favorites kit. So certainly in the comments, let me know if you're like, hey, I'm really looking for this particular sympathy sentiment, right? In the favorites kit, and I really want that rectangle. Just let me know. I want to try to fit as much in there as I can, and we will sort of plan for that. We have strip sentiments in 4 different fonts. Some of them are a little longer, so you'll notice the tick marks leave you a 1/2 inch instead of a 1/4 inch. With the exception of the one at the bottom, 7 out of 7 cats don't care that it's your birthday, and sometimes it fits on 1 line, and sometimes it fits on 2. So there is a tick mark in the middle, but certainly that's up to you. How you want to cut that. And it's the same 4 fonts that we've been using. So if you have recommendations for other fonts, I would love to know that. I'm definitely a font nerd. This kit is completely free for subscribers. So if you find this content helpful and you're interested in the free download, go ahead and hit the subscribe button and then ring the bell so you don't miss out on more freebies and more inspiration. On the last page of our kit, there is a card sketch complete with measurements, and this time we're making a mini slimline card. So here's my card base. I've cut it to 6 1/4 by 6 1/2 inches, and then I've scored it in half at 3 1/4 inches. I know that it can be kind of frustrating to cut this big of a piece out of an 8 1/2 by 11, and then you can't get another card base out of it. But I promise that in next week's video, where we step things up, we're going to stretch that sketch, and I will show you how to get 2 mini slimline card bases for this sketch out of 1 sheet of 8 1/2 by 11. For now, we're going to keep it simple, and I'm going to put a little mint tape on the inside to hold everything closed while we put our card together. So I followed the sketch, and I cut 2 larger rectangles that are 1 3/4 by 3 1/4 out of this dark purple cardstock. Then I have 2 pieces of pattern paper that I will layer on top. Those are my purple rectangles that are 1 1/2 by 3 inches. And I'm going to go ahead and add those onto the purple cardstock using my wet glue. Next, I'm going to begin adding pieces to my card base. These 2 pieces will go on either side, and then in the middle, you can either leave that the same color as your card base, or you can decorate it. I wrote all over mine. So the measurements are here. It's 2 3/4 by 3 1/4 inch. And again, I'm just going to use my wet glue to add those onto my card. The paper I'm using is from Doodlebug Designs. It's called Snow Much Fun, and I am absolutely obsessed with it. This is the 12 by 12, and it's so cute. Definitely worth checking out. For the focal point of my card, I have 2 more rectangles. I have this dark gray rectangle mat that is 4 1/4 by 2 1/4 inches. And then I have this lighter mat that is 4 1/4 by 2 inches. Okay, so it's only going to have that little strip on the top and bottom. To add this to my card base, I'm going to pop it up with some foam. And I'm just going to use my 2-inch foam roll from scrapbook.com because it is the perfect size. To finish off my card, I'm going to add a die cut and a sentiment. So I'm going to use my 2-inch circle to make a little mat for my sentiment. And then I've assembled a couple of critters from this Doodle Cuts Snow Cute die set. It coordinates with the paper that I'm using. I didn't even know Doodlebug Designs did die cuts. This thing is jam-packed. It makes all of these critters, and I have made a bunch of cards with it already. I'm going to start by adding this with wet glue, and then we'll kind of see what fits better. I'm going to add it all the way on the left. So I added a couple of snowflakes that come in the die set, and then I've decided on the polar bear because he just takes up the space a little bit better, and I think he's really cute. For a sentiment, I'm going to use this "You Deserve a Round of Applause" because I have lots of people in mind who could really use that one. I'm just using my 1 3/4 inch circle punch, and then I'm going to add this to my card with a little bit of removable adhesive, so if I change my mind later, it's really easy to swap out the sentiment. And that finishes up our card for this sketch. Isn't it cute? And it's so easy. I want to show you a couple other samples. First, I made this card in a live stream with some crafty friends. I'll link it in my blog and in the description box below. This one says, "Happy birthday, make good choices." And then it sort of opens up. And then when you turn it over, it's this sort of tri-panel card. And I've used the same paper and the same die cuts. Again, I am obsessed. Next, I have this Yappy Birthday puppy card that I think is so cute. I love this dog paper. It's older. I've had it for a while. I'll see if I can find it. If I can, I'll link it below. But I didn't want to cover it all up. So I shifted this entire rectangle to the right, and then I just hung the circle kind of off the end. I used an embossing folder in the background, and I just think that's really fun. And then I made a cat card. There is also cat paper that's from that same sort of company, same release. And there were some ephemera pieces. And so I added all those at the bottom and just let that dictate where I put my sentiment. 7 out of 7 cats don't care that it's your birthday. This one's going to my sister, 100%. I think she'll think it's funny. So that finishes up our cards for today. I would love to know which of these is your favorite. Let's take one more look at the kit. Remember, we have 16 different pet sympathy, and critter sentiments. You can get them with and without the circle. So if you don't have a 1 3/4 inch punch or die, it'll still work. And then we have our new 1 1/4 by 2 1/4 inch rectangle sentiments with 2 bonus sentiments. And then we have our strip sentiments that has all of the same sentiments as the rectangles. Please let me know if you have recommendations or requests for the favorites kit. I want to know about it, even if you're just telling me, hey, I just use a lot of happy birthday. So please do more of that. I will try to make that happen. We have all 4 fonts. If you have other font recommendations, I'd love to know about that too. And then we have our card sketch with all of the measurements. If you are interested in this free printable, all I ask is that you subscribe to my channel. So if you have hit that subscribe button, you can go down to the description box below the video and you'll find all the instructions for how to get the kit for yourself. Thank you so much for joining me, and I will see you next time.